Hello you, welcome back and welcome to your very quick class on how to do crow pose. Now if you want a warm up, then please make sure that you check out this class. It's designed to help your body get to a state where you're prepared to go into this pose. Sutra is sthira sukha masanam. It means that the yoga pose should be stable, it should feel comfortable, and that is what we're working on today. Grab a couple of blocks, I'm Angie, and when you're ready, I'll meet you over on the mat.
Okay, so set your blocks in front of you. Before we go into it, I just want to tell you a story that it's not really a story, it's like an analogy that I always use when I'm teaching people how to get into this pose. And it is to think of a seesaw. The seesaw is like this. One person sits on one end and one person sits on the other end. Now, in order for the seesaw to go like lift up, which is the analogy for your legs, this person must sit down because it's their weight that pulls the other person up. And similarly, it's that person's weight that allows it to come back, that person to come back. It's a seesaw, is what your body is doing in this pose. And you need to have the confidence for your head to be that weight to go down enough in order for the legs, aka the other person on the seesaw, to lift up. If you are trying to hop up, which I see many people do, without coming far enough down with the weight of the head, there is no way that your legs will lift. You will just continue to keep hopping and jumping, and there's nothing there. So really think about that seesaw in action as we move through today's practice. Don't worry, I will definitely remind you. First, let's come into our setup position. So keep your blocks there. You can of course use them as and when you need to, and I'll guide you how to do that. But before we use the blocks, I want you to come into an all fours position and really think about the hands pressing underneath the shoulders. So directly underneath the shoulders. I want you to think about what happens when we come into that cat-cow position. So when we're coming into the cat-cow, we drop the belly. Let's do it together. Lift the chest, shoulders draw back, chin is lifting up. Shift the weight slightly forward. The eyes of the elbows are pointing to the front. And then as you exhale, curve, round dome through the spine, push the earth away from you. Good, come back to neutral. When you're in that lifted position, see how the eyes of the elbow, that's this part, are pointing to the front. And that is what I want you to maintain in this posture. So let's come back onto that all fours position. Keep the eyes of the elbows pointing towards the front. And then come into your yogi squat by placing the soles of the feet to the earth. This is known as malasana. Hands in prayer. We can shift from side to side. We did a lot of this in that class, the first class in this series. So hopefully you're nice and limbered up from a hip mobility perspective. Let's bring the hands back down towards the ground. And I want you to really think about maintaining upper body and lower body connection. So another thing that I see a lot of people do is the hands are so far away, there's actually just nowhere for the upper body and the lower body to connect. And if you think about that seesaw, the seesaw is one, okay? It's not split into two. So we want to bring the hands a little bit closer in. Keeping a little bend in your elbows, you can straighten them out if it feels more comfortable, but for most people, protection of the elbows with a gentle bend, and also if anyone has hypermobility, that's really important to keep you safe. But the eyes of the elbows, the front parts, are still pointing towards the front. I want you to press really strong down into both of your hands, and if you have a big cushion or a blanket, you can place it in front of you, especially helps with the fear of falling. Like all arm balances, we want to get over the fear of falling. It is just something that holds us back. Even if you have the physical strength to do the pose, you'll feel a little bit nervous if it's your first time, or maybe you've not done it in a while. Press strong into both of your hands and then start to come onto the tips of the toes and watch how you shift the weight forwards. We're not lifting, we're not hopping, we're not jumping. We're just shifting the weight forwards, and our hands and our elbows are in that same position we had earlier with the hands underneath your shoulders. And then just simply shift the weight back onto the tips of the toes, shift the weight forwards, shift the weight back. Good. So you're getting into that feeling of the weight drifting from the back to the front. Then I want you to think about a really important point, which is drishti, which is your gaze. In yoga, every pose we have a drishti. So I want you to gaze not down, because you'll go straight down. I want you to gaze down and ahead. Think about that seesaw. Think about an aeroplane taking off in flight, going ahead of you. So when you're ready, start bringing the awareness to the drishti. We're doing exactly the same thing that we did just now physically, but our drishti has changed. So hands down, tips of the toes, gaze forward and ahead, shifting the weight forwards, shift it back, plant the soles of the feet. Hands down, push the ground away, shift forward, shift it back. Good. Do one more like that. Focus on where you're looking. And shift it back. Amazing. Take a breather, take a break, or you can simply place one block underneath to get a little bit more comfort. So now we're doing exactly the same thing as we just did, but this time we're focusing on something that's known as prana. Now, prana is known often as your breath. It's really a lot deeper than that. It's your life force, it's your vital energy. But really, it's how we're altering the breath in this pose in order to keep us steady. So I said earlier, in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, which is an iconic book all about yoga, it says sthira sukhamasanam, which means the pose, any pose we do, should be steady. It should be comfortable. And that's how I want you to feel in this pose. Use any props that you need to, like this block under our squat, to feel more comfortable. It doesn't mean you're copping out. It doesn't mean you're cheating. Let's now think about that breath in action. And it's to keep the breath under control. So you might not be thinking about the breathing. It may mean that you hold your breath. Lots of people will hold their breath in this pose. I promise you, when that prana is flowing evenly and steadily, you'll hold the pose for a lot longer than you realize. So let's come back into center. Same again. Hands down, tips of the toes. Focus on your breath and your drishti, gazing down and ahead. It doesn't matter what breath you take when, it's you focusing on that steady breath. So maybe you're inhaling as you lift and you're exhaling to come back, or maybe it's the other way around, doesn't matter. Just keep it steady, keep going. Amazing. Come back, take a breather, bring that block underneath your hip. As we move into a lift, I want you to bring the secondary block and you're going to place your head very gently on that block as you find a lift in the feet. What I want you to really focus on here, you've got your breath, you've got your drishti, you've got the physical movement and the shifting. So as the forehead comes lowering onto your block, you're also thinking about squeezing your thighs in, and you're also thinking about something that's known as Uddiyana Bandha. Uddiyana Bandha is your navel lock engaging through your navel muscles, squeezing your belly button to the back of the spine. Doesn't mean you're holding your breath. You still keep breathing, but you're activating through that. A bandha is a lock, so you're squeezing on that energetic lock. It's one of these deeper practices in yoga that often we don't really see. People just a lot of yoga teachers will just teach you this pose on a physical level. No, there's energetic locks to consider. There's prana to consider. There's drishti to consider. There is more than just the physical capabilities of the body. So remember that. Let's give it a go. Let's grab hold of that block, place it in front of you. You can obviously move the positioning of it. You can use 2 blocks if you need to. Hands come down. Focus on the prana, steady breath. Press the hands into the ground, lift onto the tips of the toes, shifting the weight forward, push the ground away. Gazing down and ahead continues. Maybe lift one foot, maybe hop it back down, maybe lift the other foot. Maybe hop it back down. I've noticed that my block needs to be a little bit further ahead of me, so I'm going to move that now. And then when you find a lift in both of your feet, you can work on drawing the soles of the feet, the tips of the toes to touch. And then maybe we drop the forehead down to the block. Uddiyana Bandha engaged, navel lock. Squeezing the thighs together. And then slowly coming back down. Same block comes under. Take a breather. So that is the process I want you to follow. Pop me on pause, go back, repeat, repeat, repeat. Practice, practice, practice. That's really what it all is about. Remembering the top 3 things. Yes, it's the physical strength, mobility. You want to keep everything open and mobile and flexible. That will help you. Your drishti, where you're looking, will keep you more steady. So will the prana, the breath. When you are up there, we're squeezing our thighs in, activating through Uddiyana Bandha, your navel lock, maintaining the drishti and maintaining the prana. So there's so much going on in this pose, and that's why when we think about yoga off the mat, this is going to make you so much more focused. Find confidence in whatever way you need to. Use the blocks, use the cushion. come back to yourself. See it as a dedication to yourself to try this posture. In next class, we are going to side crow, so slight variation on what we're doing here. If today felt impossible, please still come back to the next class because it might feel really easy for you. You just don't know. Our body is different on every single day. If you enjoyed this, then let me know. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll see you in our next class. If you want more classes, we do have a bunch over here you can try. We also have over 400 on Unearthed, which is my online yoga studio, all led by Indian yoga teachers, and you will get 50% off by using the code YouTube. So come over and join us. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Bye.